How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the Amber Guyger murder conviction. Now, there is a whole lot to get into. I'm not really sure where to begin. I think I'll start from the very beginning, and I'll tell you who Amber Guyger is if you don't know and why this story is news right now today. Amber Guyger was a Dallas area police officer, and one night after a 15-hour shift as an officer, she went back to her apartment complex. Now, apparently she parked on the wrong floor, and as a result, she went to the wrong apartment. She thought it was her apartment. It was not her apartment. It was her upstairs neighbor's, Botham Jean. Now, elephant in the room, Amber Guyger is white. Botham Jean was black, and he was from St. Lucia, so an immigrant. Anyway, she goes into his house thinking that it's hers. Something was wrong with his lock on the front door. I'm not sure if she used a key, like her key to get in, or if the door was open. Whatever the case may be, she went into his house thinking that it was hers, according to her own testimony. Now, she sees Mr. Jean in there. He's minding his own business, eating ice cream or whatever. She shoots and kills him thinking that it's an intruder in her house. After the shooting, she calls the police, I suppose, but she does not render him aid. She's more concerned about herself. Now we have a manslaughter trial that became a murder trial. Well, a manslaughter charge that became a murder charge in trial, and there's a conviction for murder. This is a really big story because of what I said about the racial component, okay? If it were not for the racial component, if it were not for the fact that Mr. Jean was black and Amber Guyger is white, nobody would care about this. There was a situation in Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below, where a black male officer shot and killed an innocent, unarmed white woman outside of her house after she called the police. Okay, does anybody really know the name of the person or the lady that was killed? Or does anybody really know what happened with that situation? I don't. It wasn't really big news. I mean, it did hit the newswire because at first it was just, police officer, innocent person. But then once the races were revealed, it kind of went away. But I digress. My point is that the only reason why this story is a story is because of the racial component. Now, do I think that Amber Guyger is right or justified in what she did? Absolutely not. Should she have been convicted of a crime? Absolutely, because you're negligent as a police officer. You're going to the wrong house. You don't know where you're at. A man is in there. You shoot him right away. You don't take any measures afterwards to render him aid. So you're careless, you're negligent, and you cost this man his life in his own house. So you most certainly should go to jail. Should it be for what they charged her for, the murder charge? I'm not really sure. I don't really know about that. And I wanted to wait until the conviction sentence came down before I did this video, but I had to get off my chest right now. One thing about Texas is kind of interesting is that there's no first or second degree murder. There's only capital murder and manslaughter. That's it. Capital murder is if you kill a police officer or you get paid to kill somebody, or if you kill more than one person. That's capital murder. If you get convicted of that, you get the chair, the rope, firing squad, whatever they want to give you. You get the death penalty for capital murder. Now, one below that is murder, and that is what Amber Guyger was charged with. Below that, you have manslaughter, where, it's, accidental, but you are responsible for it. I think that is a situation with Amber Guyger. She did not go to Mr. Jean's house, her directly upstairs neighbor, with the intention of killing him. I mean, you just getting home from work, you trying to go to bed, you trying to go to sleep, you're thinking of somebody in your house, you shoot him and kill him. Are you justified in doing that? No, you're not. You caused this man his death in his own house. You got to be held responsible for that. But is it murder? I don't think so. I was reading some places where they're saying, oh, this is a first degree murder, second degree murder. That doesn't exist in Texas. It's a first degree felony. So some news sites may get it confused. When they see first degree felony, Texas, and murder, they may say, oh, it's first degree murder. That's not how it works. All that a first degree felony means is your sentencing will be between 5 years minimum and 99 years maximum. Will she get life? I don't think so. You got gangbangers that don't get life, that kill people, rob people, all of that with the intention of doing that. Now, Miss Guyger did say that she shot Mr. Jean with the intention of killing him, but I mean, wouldn't that be what happens? If you're in your own house and you have castle doctrine, you can say what she said about shooting to kill and get off totally. Unfortunately for everybody involved, that was not the case, and she is responsible for this man's death. An innocent man minding his own business, an accountant just, in his house. People that are emotional want her to basically get the rope, but that's just not how law works. You got to charge a crime that's going to stick and get them for the appropriate amount of time that makes sense for the crime. Because this could be a regular person or somebody that you like. It could be a black officer, and it could be an accident. It could be something that, was negligent, but not to the point of maliciousness. It could have been that. You will want them to get the appropriate sentence and not one that fits your emotional need. I don't think anybody thinks that Amber Guyger is innocent. I just think it's a matter of, how long should she get in the penitentiary? If you ask me, I think the sentencing should be between like 10 to 15, and that'd be kind of high, really. The reason why it would be high is because of the race. Because she's white, he's black, he's innocent. You can't give her a slap on the wrist, club fed, less than 5 years or something, or the minimum 5 years. You can't do that. Some would say 25 with the L, but like I said, you got gangbangers that don't get that, so why would she get that? It doesn't make any sense. Let's let it be proportional to other crimes that are committed in Texas and in the nation in general. So overall, I don't have too much more to add. Rest in peace, Botham Jean. He did not deserve to die. Innocent man, minding his own business in his own house. Amber Guyger did make a mistake, but she has to be held accountable for her mistake. I got to add one more thing here before we close. I don't think Amber Guyger should have been the cop. They put out her text messages talking about, she was sexting and she was racist. I'm not really worried about that too much. I'm just worried about her reaction after she did what she did. Okay, worried about herself, not rendering the man aid, too quick to pull the trigger, just kind of skittish. Now, I understand being an officer is not an easy job, but who said it was going to be easy? You need to be built for that. I'm thinking you have an affirmative action hire on your hands. Quiet as it's kept, affirmative action is not just a racial thing. It is also a gender thing. You could be a female that is given a position that you should not have strictly because of your gender. That could have been the case with Amber Guyger. Could she have been a good cop? Maybe. I don't really know that. Maybe she was, maybe she wasn't. But judging her actions in this particular case, I think the answer to that may be closer to no than it is to yes. She probably shouldn't have been a cop. And let this be a lesson to any other police forces out there. Do not hire people based upon certain quotas and, things that are beyond the ability to be a police officer. It gives a lot of good officers, the overwhelming majority of officers, a bad name. People like this are out here, it gives them a bad name. Oh, they can't handle being a police officer. They're scared of a black man, innocent, eating ice cream. Most, 99.9, in my opinion, officers are not like that. You got a few people like Amber Guyger that get scared, they get spooked, they make mistakes that are fatal, and it's really unfortunate. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think that Amber Guyger deserved to get convicted of murder? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. Or do you think it should have been manslaughter? And a quick rundown of the potential sentencing for each. Murder has 5-year minimum up to 99 years. Manslaughter, I think it has 2 years minimum up to 20 years. I think it should have been manslaughter in 10 years. That's really kind of high, honestly, for a mistake like that. But the high sentence is because of the racial component, which nobody can ignore. Because if you don't have a high sentence for a racial component, you're going to have civil unrest. And you're going to make your officers be more in danger due to the civil unrest. It really shouldn't be like that, but it is what it is. Also, you have an officer who should be held to a higher standard. So probably 10 years manslaughter. People are saying life, murder. I don't think that's appropriate for this particular situation. Because like I said, you got gangbangers that get less time than that are actually really out there, quote unquote, putting in work. Do you think I'm wrong here? Do you think I'm right? What should the appropriate sentence be? Do you think that Amber Guyger killed Botham Jean as a result of an accident, or was it something more sinister? I was hearing conspiracy theories floating around talking about her and Botham Jean were in a relationship. She was mad that he was dealing with somebody else. I've not seen any evidence of that. The only evidence I've seen is that they did not know each other, and she went to the wrong apartment on that fateful night where, unfortunately, Mr. Botham Jean lost his life. But whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.